In June 2020, Riot Games released the 5v5 FPS game Valorant. Although there have been numerous additions, Valorant's gameplay mechanics are somewhat similar to those of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. There are currently 20 agents in the game, each with their special skills. Soon after the game's release, gamers observed tournaments in each region that brought the teams to the inaugural Valorant Champions Tour match. There, some of the top players in Valorant displayed breathtaking plays for all to see. In this video, we'll introduce to you the 10 best Valorant players in Rank 2022. But before we get into it, do me a favor and smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button for notifications whenever a new video is published. Valorant's mechanics and benchmarking. Before listing out the 10 players, let us first understand and know Valorant's mechanics and benchmarking to determine who made it to the best player list is Rank 2022. Aim and game sense are vital in a game like Valorant, but it's not simply about top fragging. We evaluated players in Counter-Strike Global Offensive competitions based on their abilities in addition to crosshair placement. But in Valorant, you get to observe agents with 4 different roles and a variety of skills. It is intended that duelists will engage in the opening battles and gain access to the area so that the spike can be planted. The initiator's job is to aid duelists in site access while driving adversaries from cover and trapping them in awkward positions. Sentinels have a responsibility to protect the area, provide intelligence, and prevent enemy flanking. Finally, controllers effectively obscure the enemy's view, giving them more control over a larger area. Overall, Valorant is a team game rather than just a shooter. You will never be able to use duelists as they are intended to be used if your team has 5 duelists and your opponents have a reasonable team composition. A victory is feasible with everyone's cooperation. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that controllers are awful if they only get 6 kills in a game. Instead, they are to blame for how simple it has been to enter sites and why no one on the opposing team is choosing an operator. The ranking of the world's most valiant players takes into account not only their technical skill but also their sense of the game, how they employ their skills, and how they support their teammates. For a variety of reasons, we have selected these variables. Participation from the entire team is important, as you may have experienced in a game where a toxic player destroyed everyone's mental state and caused your team to lose. Let's first define some of the ground rules. 1. Players should have participated in at least one international competition. 2. Players ought to be a part of a team right now. 3. Every squad should pick just one guy. 4. No retiring players or valiant streamers will be included on the list. In addition to these 4 guidelines, we took into consideration each player's statistics, accomplishments, local and global success, value to their team, consistency, and overall skills. Let's start with the list now that the guidelines and standards have been defined. The best players are on the rosters of all the teams. Due to this, the majority of the players on the list are active participants in the Valorant Champions Tour. These are the players who clutched the game without anyone expecting it. Sometimes they simply give the casters second thoughts because it appears that they are using an aimbot. Most importantly, these guys consistently deliver quality work among the 807,935 Valorous gamers. Number 10. Klaus KR. Born on April 4, 2001, a KR esports member. Since EMEA and NA areas dominated the VCT, LATAM teams did not receive enough attention. Additionally, Klaus used to play Overwatch, a similar first-person shooting game with a different set of rules. Players in Overwatch may easily spray because the recoil is not as strong. When Klaus moved to Valorant, the recoil pattern of weapons like Vandal and Phantom caused him difficulty. When it comes to aim, he still has a lot to learn, but when it comes to game sense, he is the reason KR Esports was accepted into all 4 international Valorant competitions. Both his setups and his in-game leading are of the finest quality. To support his squad, particularly Kesnet, and ensure that the site is correctly maintained with accurate information, he plays in games with Viper, Sova, and Breach. Number 9. Aspas Loud. Born on June 15, 2003, the Brazilian player Eric Aspas Santos competes with the Loud label, ranking at number 294 in the world ranking of Valorant. He was listed by Valorant Zone as the 7th best player in Brazil for 2021. Brazil has had its moments at VCT Masters competitions, but Loud is the first Brazilian team to win a playoff game, and there is a lot of buzz surrounding the team. IGL Sacy from Loud has said the following regarding Aspas. Aspas is just that simple guy that wants to headshot people. He's not like the guy who is a tactical person that you'll think, oh, this guy can do that and can do this. He's just like the I'll pick and choose Jet and then me, and Sodhack try and make everything comfortable for him. Number 8. Shroud Sentinels. Born on June 2, 1994, Michael Grzycik, a former professional Counter-Strike global offensive player who retired 4 years ago, has returned. Shroud's addition to the lineup was confirmed by Team Sentinels on July 8, 2022, via their official Twitter account. Sentinels benched Zoms, who primarily played controller, at the following tweet. He chose Viper for the competitive games he recently played with Sentinels on his stream. His team's lineups and overall game sense were flawless. He talks without being distracted while calmly playing the game. He might take Shazam's place as well as Zoms as the in-game leader. Shazam is the kind of player who obsesses over the game, and as a result, he frequently loses focus while calling out players. Shroud is a new hope that might help Sentinels get back on track after recent struggles. Number 7. Shazam Sentinels. Born on October 8, 1993, Shahzeb Khan, also known as Shazam, is the in-game leader of the Sentinels team. He is praised for his versatility even though his aim and response speed aren't always precise. He selects the fill option rather than the agent he is best at. He has portrayed Jet admirably in the past, but because of TenZ in Sentinels, he rarely has the chance. He can even play Sova with the proper lineups to collect as much data as possible for greater map coverage. We are all aware of how crucial knowledge is in the game, and without him, Sentinels would not typically have an advantage. Number 6. Mixwell G2. Born on the 10th of October 1995, the Spanish gamer Oscar Mixwell Coelhas Colocho currently competes for G2 Esports. He is a fairly well-liked player and was already well-known when he participated in Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Counter-Strike Source. He is best remembered for his time with OpTic Gaming, a team that peaked at number 2 on the worldwide HLTV rankings and with whom he won numerous big competitions. Unexpectedly, after switching to Valorant, he gained greater popularity. Mixwell is currently a key player on the G2 roster and has aided the group's entry into numerous international tournaments. He is a versatile player who can take on the roles of several Valorant agents, which is undoubtedly advantageous for his team. He was a Jet main when his Valorant career began. Later, he developed into a fluid player to help the team's makeup be balanced. He's been playing recently with KAY/O, Sky, and Chamber. Number 5. Nats Gambit. Born on July 1, 2002, Ayaz Akhmetcan, also known as Nats, is a player for Gambit Esports. Viper and Cypher are his go-to characters. Before Nats came, the controller and sentinel roles were boring. He changed the game's meta and played with agents that many other players wouldn't. Many settings that he introduced in his Viper game were chosen by many teams and are still in use today. Additionally, nobody anticipates elite athletes using an agency like Cypher in competitions. The cause is that Cypher cameras and traps are set up in predictable locations, making it simple for enemies to bypass them. But Nats took up the challenge and created Cypher settings that would constantly change. He spent hours searching for locations that would provide the squad with as much information as possible while confusing the opponents. Number 4. CNED Ace Ned. Born on January 18, 2002, Mehmet Yez, known online as CNED, is barely 20 years old yet has 14 years of gaming experience. He began by competing against duelists, primarily Jet and Reyna. He likes playing with the operator, and Chamber's ultimate is like the most buff operator. Nevertheless, recently since June, we have seen him choose Chamber. Due to his peak reaction time, his operator abilities appear alien as he eliminates the enemies right as they reach their peak. He quit playing with Jet because of the recent nerf Jet God, which requires players to click the dash button once to start a timer and then press it again. Chamber continues to let CNED remain at odd angles and teleports right away after scoring a kill. Ascend's team heavily relied on CNED, who was a member of their roster. He defeated Gambit Esports in the Valorant Champions 2021 thanks to his amazing gameplay. The finals ended up becoming a best-of-5 series because in the third match, CNED failed to live up to expectations and the squad as a whole crumbled. His performance in subsequent rounds was remarkable, with a KD ratio of 1.6 in the last round, demonstrating how much the team depends on him. Ascend has also dropped out of the game in rounds where the opposing team chose to either catch him alone or avoid CNED at all costs. Number 3. Scream Team Liquid. Born on July 2, 1994, Adil Benalidim, better known by his gaming name Scream, is also known as the Headshot Machine for his incredibly precise and rewarding one-tap headshots using a dot crosshair. In contrast to TenZ, he is regarded as one of the best players because of his deadly aim in both Valorant and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Many contend that Scream does not receive the credit he merits because of the team he is now playing for, Team Liquid. We all saw Team Liquid struggle in the international tournaments, but Scream carried his team, enabling them to participate in 3 international tournaments. Scream is praised by Reyna's main players in Valorant for his gaming, positioning, and dueling. Recently, everyone observed Scream have a top 5k laughing face ratio of 1.22 and an average combat score of 260.5 B in VCT 2022, Stage 1 Masters Reykjavik. Number 2. Ye OpTic Gaming. Born on September 9, 1998, Jacob Whitaker, who goes by Ye, is a member of OpTic Gaming at the moment. He also played Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but Valorant gave his skills the credit they deserved. He is regarded as one of the strongest players and top fraggers in the North American region for Valorant in 2022. He has been playing Chamber owing to a stronger edge at off angles, just how CNED Ye has been playing Jet since its nerf. Ye was a key contributor to OpTic Gaming's victory in the VCT 2022 Stage 1 Masters Reykjavik competition. His KD ratio was the highest at 1.32, while his average combat score was the second highest at 252.3. Throughout the competition, he scored 417 kills in total. Number 1. TenZ Sentinels. Nobody can dispute that Tyson TenZ, born on May 5, 2001, the alleged Wonder Boy, is having a good time in Valorant. Although his experience in Counter-Strike Global Offensive was not good, he has made up for it in Valorant. He initially belonged to Cloud9 Blue, but eventually joined the Sentinels. The team was invincible at that point, and the awards started flooding in. There is no doubt that even in this team game, TenZ deserved the majority of the credit. Sentinels won awards like VCT 2021 North America Stage 1 Masters and VCT 2021 North America Stage 1 Challengers, one after the other. His plays and decisive moments were simply too incredible. No matter how skilled his opponent's game sense is, his wild reaction times and unpredictable actions make them feel foolish. He can also read the team well, which makes him adaptive rather than a self-centered duelist. TenZ will primarily be seen playing Jet, Raze, and Reyna. Do you agree with the list? Who is the best player in Valorant for you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Before leaving, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications on our future content. With that being said, see you in the next one.